I mean, you know, he all right. You know what I'm saying? He all right, stuff like that. But seriously, boss, tell us your name. What's going on? Who are you?
My name is Casey McCracken, and I'm with San
Casey
Diego
McCracken.
Norml.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, folks. Let me say them.
Get cracking.
Casey McCracken.
That's the name.
It's serious.
I believe him.
Okay, that's all right. Go ahead, Casey. I'm sorry, Casey.
Get it cracking, right?
Right.
Hey.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Casey, do we know each other?
Yeah, we're brothers,
Okay,
man. We're brothers.
I'm not talking mess to me, talking mess to attorney. He gonna sue me for
Yeah, come on, man.
calling
Come
his name
on,
Casey
man.
McCracken.
Yeah, no. So we're out here with San Diego Norml, just trying to interact with our fellow San Diegans.
Yes, sir.
Letting everybody know that although Prop 64 is passed with amazing benefits for us Californians, the reality of the situation is that we have more than 2/3 of Californians without legal access to cannabis, and frankly, that's just not sufficient, and it's not furthering the intent behind Prop 64, which was to allow patients and recreational users legal access to cannabis, and that's just frankly not happening right now.
And what do you think we need to do in these communities to help educate those people and make sure that they know how to get that information, how to access it? I mean, people are scared. They don't know, should they go to the dispensary, how to go there, and if they need medical, how they're going to be able to pay for it, not paying those high tax and pricing,
Sure.
without having to get caught in the black market per se.
Sure, no.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's a really good question, and frankly, that's the biggest problem, is breaking down some of those barriers that we have been saturated with, that misinformation for the last. I mean, I remember I'm hearing the DARE campaign back when I was a kid, and as bad as it sounds, I go to some city council meetings and I'm hearing the same arguments now. So it's just like what you're saying. It's a what can we do? We can try to break down barriers by doing things just like this, getting out in the public, letting the public see that there is a real face to cannabis, and it's not those terrible stories that we heard growing up. Exactly.
Right.
And that's all we're trying to do.
Right.
Is, you know, there are a lot of great organizations out there for advocacy, but what Norml's really focused on is ensuring that each and every patient and recreational user has that legal access, and right now that's just not the case, and we're going to do everything possible. So yeah, so to what we can do, things just like this, getting a friendly face out there, letting everyone understand that, you know, the cannabis industry is not that which has been forced down our throats for the last 20 years, and it really is a viable industry that can do a lot for both patients and for cities and counties alike.
And I love you to say this in the sense of diversity program, right?
Sure.
Obviously, we know brothers went to jail and prison for this, and now you got the pretty white girl selling me weed every day. Trust me, I'm just being nice to you, but I'm being the truth.
No,
right? You just go to the hood, now I got to go to Beverly Hills and get it. Now, when I look at it, and just from my story, again, not from the story, thank you, number one, for being a face to some of this. Not only just the negative, but the criticism you have to take by supporting some of these communities and making sure that not only access for patients, but also access for the people to be a part of the business that they help start and grow. Probably for 200-300 years, to be nice with you, but no, doing that. But thank you, man. And what do you do, and how do you feel about the diversity programs? Is this something that's needed, or do you think it's something that we need to focus more on, or open it up? I mean, based on your opinion.
Oh, completely so. As in, we need more of it. I mean, we could talk about the hypocrisy that exists in this industry for the next hour and a half. I mean, the availability of alcohol, cigarettes, and things like that, yet the dispersions that are cast on cannabis users. That aside, there is also a hypocrisy in the way that cannabis enforcement has gone for the past 50 years here, longer than that, but especially in the past 50 years. You have people sitting in prison who were the backbone of this industry, watching other people out right now getting rich in the industry. And I mean, does that mean that we shouldn't have a regulated industry? Of course not. What it means is that we need to address those concerns, and we're doing it slowly but surely, and you can see it by the social equity programs. Are there enough of them? Of course not. Are they, you know, really slowly being rolled out like what we see in LA? Of course, but I mean, I hate to go back to cliches, but the whole you don't get to an omelet without breaking a few eggs or shells, you know, it's exactly what we're dealing with here, and we're having a whole bunch of eggshells we're breaking, but we're moving towards where we want to be, and that's with not just, you're right, not just ease of access to each Californian to their medicine or to their recreational use of cannabis, but also ease of access into the industry, especially for those communities that have been unfairly targeted by a drug war, which, come on, let's be frank, has really done nothing and left us with people sitting in prison for cultivating a plant that they need to treat a medical condition, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
Right, exactly.
Specifically in San Diego, what are some of those initiatives? Because you mentioned LA is slowly rolling out some not, I don't want to say reparations, but like at least legislation to assist and sponge records and things of that nature.
Sure.
Is San Diego doing anything like that? 'Cause I haven't
Specifically, San Diego has just recently started taking a look at the social equity program and how they'll be able to, in the next round of opening up licenses, how they'll be able to better effectuate a more diverse population of license holders. With respect to the expungement of crimes, that's actually been taking place much more often throughout the state than the social equity programs. Even at the state level, you can see that the state has looked to expunge non-violent felonies related to cannabis, and I could be, I'm not exactly.
I'm like,
but
yay!
Exactly. There's movement at all levels.
So I get some credit?
San Diego, yeah, right? San Diego is unfortunately woefully behind some of the other cities like Oakland, Los Angeles, San Francisco, who have already instituted their social equity programs, but it's being talked about here, and again, it's a step in the right direction, but there's still so much to be done, and really that's what we're
Mr. McCracken? Mr. McCracken,
my man.
it's tough because San Diego's population is only 7% black people here, let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? We're trickled. Now we're here, like you get 6 or 7 of us, and look like, oh man, there's a lot of people here. But really, I've been to New Orleans, take your buddy, you be like, oh, now we need some diversity program. So I get it, right? I'm not saying we gotta just throw one of us in there just to make it look good, I get it. But I mean, you're right too, I'm trying to be nice. You're right, but why not? But you're really though. But you're right. For you though, seriously, what are some of the fun things that you like? I mean, we can talk about seriousness, but what are some of the, give me one of your fun challenges you had to deal with recently. Let's just, anything that was fun. Like it's, you know, it's still business, but
sure.
It was funny or it was fun.
No, I am lucky enough to work in an industry where I am having fun every day, and that has not always been the case with the law. I love the law, but being able to apply it in this industry and work with cannabis users, cannabis patients, cannabis business owners has just been amazing. So I would say the best part of my job is when we have clients come back in who we originally helped get their mutual benefit corporation, meaning that they were operating in this industry prior to Prop 64, still fully legally, fully permitted, had patient agreements and everything like that. And they come back in and they're asking, you know, what can we do? How can we get into this industry? Or, you know, how can we continue in this industry? And we have to explain to them that now the cost is upwards of 10 to 20 times what it would have been, you know, 3 years ago.
Right.
But those clients, sometimes, you know, they hear that amount and they're, oh my goodness, I'll never be able to do that. Other clients, I say, you know, we want to do it, we just don't have the funding. And so when we're able to put those clients together with the type of money that's necessary to really go behind these licenses and really what is necessary to get your business going, and we're able to marry those two clients of ours, both the money and the actual the person who's making the product, it's that much better, because so often we find these, as we were already saying, these companies that were the backbone of this industry are no longer allowed to operate in the legalized industry. It's all of this massive money coming over from, you know, from out of state, out of
Canada,
country, which is fine. I mean, that's, you know, that's inevitable. But at the same time, you're having a huge portion of the industry that has basically been told, hey, either find $200,000 or go pound salt. And when we're able to take that company and put them with a responsible investor, one who's in it for the long run, not just in it to make money, then that's kind of what to me is the best part of what I do, because that's necessary now. It wasn't necessary 3 years ago. It was just, you know, a real simple process. Now it is everything but. So I would say that's it.
And we need you out here, Norml. Like she was saying, I mean, getting the community just to know about you, knowing about what you guys are doing and how you can help support the community without them. A lot of people have questions. They ask me all the time. I mean, like CBD or even cannabis, like just because I'm supposed to know, you know. Hell, does it make it higher, lower, sativa? Hey, listen. Try it and let me know. You tell me how it makes you feel, right? Yep. Talk to somebody that knows about it. Talk to a plumber. I don't plumb, I don't plumb, but I'm not a plumber. Right. You know, fair enough. But again, you can know piping, but do you know what the law? You know, you can read internet, but do you know the law? This is something that you do, and so people don't really understand that you do this on a daily basis.
I do.
Things change daily.
Yep.
This thing changes daily. Yeah. So for you being you've been in the military at one time, correct?
Yeah.
You protecting our country, giving us rights and the freedom to eat at the restaurants. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Now that you've had the service and done the service and have been a part to help support what we're trying to do, how do you feel and how do you think the Navy feels as far as, I'm not saying the Navy per se, but just the Navy people, like, hey, is CBD or cannabis okay in the Navy? Do you think that's something that...
CBD, I don't think they test for CBD. They test for THC, which is what makes you high. Nonetheless, as far as military goes, like my job, I would not be able to perform my job. That was an aviation electronics technician under the influence, you know. Now,
I used to fly my planes when I was high. I did good.
No, I mean,
you see my car.
serving my country. That's
No,
what
me
I'm
too.
saying.
Me too.
But
I need some medicine.
I think once we're able to determine, you know, if they have some type of testing where they can tell if you just consumed it, and let's say somebody's doing some heavy machinery involved work, then I don't see why the military, it's just like alcohol.
Exactly.
I mean,
Bam.
military,
Opiates?
we drink a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Say it
They're not
again.
going to want you
Say it
drunk
again.
on the job, but you can have a beer after
Correct.
work.
I think that
Right.
we're going to get to that point where it's going to be the same.
It has to be.
Because a lot of people, like in the military, I suffered an injury and had some PTSD as a result. And guess what? The only thing that helps me sleep at least 6 hours straight without waking up every hour is cannabis.
Yeah, right.
And once I found that out, I'm a poster child for like PTSD and how cannabis.
Right, right.
So
right.
I'm an advocate for it. I'm a user, and I absolutely, as well, help companies get their licensing. Do consulting for that. And,
That's great. That's great.
There's a reason why I want you guys
Yeah,
to talk.
no, perfect.
We're putting it together.
Talk to you after.
Right, exactly. And I think about Kayleen and the other people. Again, I look at MJ Torres and those people that I know and how I interviewed them
Right.
and how she got tied into that based on PTSD. Like, brothers, we do it because of stress, right?
that too.
Yeah, we got Bloods,
Anxiety.
Crips, police chasing. We don't know what's going on. Everybody hating and shooting at us. And so we smoking for stress. Now, some of my friends, they surf, they can smoke and go surfing and know what they're doing. You know, so again, I'm being silly, but I'm just also saying, hey, there's different reasons. You know, indica sativa, it's about terpenes. I mean, THC is one piece, terpenes are another, and I don't want to go that deep. But I'm going to ask you this, as far as you, the legalities, there's some companies I know that are stretching out their CBD, hemp CBD product, and then there's companies, I want to mention their names, that have the THC cannabis that is just because it's so low in percentages, it's based on the hemp, so they can actually use cannabis even though it's low. Is that true?
Well, what's the best lawyer answer? Yes and no. Where we are with hemp, and for purposes of identification, hemp has now been designated as any cannabis that is under 0.3% THC. Just like what you said,
Right.
it still obviously comes from the cannabis sativa plant,
Right.
but it is now legally designated as industrial hemp. What happened with the passing of the 2018 Farm Bill was hemp has been removed from the Controlled Substances Act, hemp and hemp extracts as well. Meaning, notwithstanding a few testing and permitting requirements, it's no different than any other agricultural commodity, asparagus, broccoli, the type. You still need to test to
Tobacco?
ensure. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean,
Who grows tobacco?
in reality it is, but you still need to ensure that it is not cannabis. So,
Right.
so there are some testing requirements. That being said, what the Farm Bill did is it allowed each state to set their own regulatory process for how they want their hemp industries to move forward. Or they could wait, and they can wait for the federal government to put their regulations in place. It's kind of up to the states. Certain states have moved forward, those that already had a thriving hemp industry prior and independent to federal legalization. Colorado, Oregon, certain states across to the East Coast too, North Carolina. California actually just months before passed their hemp laws prior to the Farm Bill being passed. So some of them are moving forward independent of that federal approval. Now they're going to still submit those regulations for federal approval, but they're saying we're not going to wait for you guys. We have them in place right now. We want our our industry to
Here's some
start
tax
thriving.
money, take
Exactly.
it, and look at the bill, and then you can cry to me later on.
Exactly. So,
take this check.
so California, as I said, their laws are very new. They're actually not even 100% in place. We just last Friday were released, or this last Friday, the registration requirements were released. Now that gives growers the chance to, or the opportunity to get their plants in the ground. But it's kind of a caveat with buyers beware, because the testing regulations have not yet been put in place. So
Right.
hypothetically speaking, should those plants get put in the ground and the testing regs get put off for whatever reason,
Right.
then you're finding your growers with product that they can't monetize. Well, you can monetize, but not in the traditional sense of harvesting and going through. Why? Because you don't have those testing procedures in place. So
Right.
where do we find ourselves right now? Kind of still in that gray area.
We're new.
California is different than Oregon, which is
Right.
different than Ohio. But what the Farm Bill has done on on the greater scheme is it has removed hemp and hemp extracts from the Controlled Substances Act, so they are no longer federally legal. You can transport those products throughout interstate commerce. I mean, you got to be a little careful right now until every state gets their own legislation in place. But yeah, that's what the Farm Bill done, and it's amazing. It really is. There's no reason that they shouldn't.
The industrial hemp exciting prospect if you think about it.
It's amazing. The spectrum that hemp can be used, I mean, is far beyond that which we already think of. Oh, parchment and cool shirts and necklaces. I mean, things like
diesel fuel.
Yeah, fossil fuels, hempcrete, exactly. All of these things that the traditional advocate may not even know about. So it is not just a step in the right direction. It's a major step in the right direction, but whether it's legal today to sell those products, it's a gray area.
It's a gray area, right?
Exactly.
It's a new industry. I mean, it's just like when Prohibition comes back. You know, we're crying about that. I mean, everybody wants to make their beer and do all that. Now, San Diego obviously is one of the beer capitals of the country, minus maybe Oregon. I'm not going to argue with you, Oregon, but pound for pound, you know what time it is. Champs, number one, numero uno. But no, seriously, it's just tying that in. Is you're right. How do we regulate? I'm gonna ask you this before we keep and give you a few more minutes here. But I want to know, where can people find you or get more information about you?
Thank you.
Where can they hire you?
I
get 10%. Everybody.
I appreciate you asking that. Well, first, San Diego Norml. You can check us out at SanDiegoNormal.com. Our site is it's up there. It's technically under construction in that we are needing to do a whole revamping of it, but it is in the works, and you can get the all the information on meetings. It's the second Tuesday of every month. We're up at Swami's in Encinitas from 11 to 12:30.
Oh yeah.
We also have 2 holiday meetings, one in the summer, one in December, which are much more fun friendly, let's say. People having drinks by the pool, consumption friendly. Everyone's having a good time.
Awesome.
San Diego.
I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly, right?
I don't want to tell them yet. We gotta get there first. We need VIP first before we do it. But tell us one more time.
Sure.
Well, give us the website or the under construction website
Sure,
or the Facebook.
Yes, that's SanDiegoNormal.com. Also, you can find us on Facebook. We have
spell normal, because you know people don't spell normal normally.
Thank you. It is Norml. No A in the.
Told you they can't spell.
And then, and if you need any sort of work on the regulatory side, you can always find us at Wicker Law Group, and our website is ewickerlaw.com.
ewickerlaw.com.
Yep.
Finally, I got 2 questions for you.
What's that?
Where are you from originally?
Bay Area, brother.
Golden State Warrior.
Oh yeah, big Dubs fan.
Beat my San Diego Clippers. I ain't mad at you.
I'm missing the game right now.
Oh really? Oh, you are, huh?
Yeah, hopefully Clay's playing, but
Humboldt County.
Humboldt.
There
Oh
you
man.
go. Nice.
I'm from San Diego Clippers. I'm gonna tell you right now. Welcome to San Diego.
Old school
Flight
Clippers.
911. Take 5 north and to take the 73 and take you guys' butts home. Man, traffic is heavy. Rent's high. I mean, I love you.
20 years in San Diego,
Okay,
though.
fair enough.
San Diego's
No,
my home.
Cali.
San Diego's my home.
I know. I'm giving break.
San Diego.
No, I'm mad at him stuff. I'm mad at him rent high.
Bay
and
Area,
stuff.
Bay Area hard, but my home is San Diego.
No, I was born in San Mateo. My mom
Yeah,
lives
we
in
talked about that.
Pacific Heights.
South
Trust
Bend,
me.
South
Wait till you
Bend.
meet her.
Redwood City.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Represent.
Man, all you guys come down here.
Mountain View,
Welcome to the
Sunnyvale,
yellow part of
all
California.
that.
Well, we love you.
NorCal hook.
Yeah, we need NorCal. Humboldt does rule, actually. They're number one, numero uno.
yeah.
Folks, again, one more time, we are here with KNS Jam Sessions, our Notes from the Underground special edition. Look, I got to show all 3 or 4 of my shows in here.
Yeah.
Folks, if you want to check us out, you can go to notesfromtheu.com. Again, that's notesfromthelletteru.com. It's actually an old Russian name book. My partner, Wally Wong, writes the books for dummies. Microsoft for Dummies, Office for Dummies, he's on there. Other partner, John Kernan, used to be the Vice President of Craft, help launch Altoids. They have my friend, Kristen Yoder, who does all of our cannabis, Soil to the Oil. She is a pit bull in the terpene and cannabis industry, I promise you. And then I have Jody Taylor, she's in the LGBT community, she's our PR. She actually was on the Women's Guardians Center. I'm sorry, it was a women's football team, wasn't the Guardians, excuse me, Guardians. It was, it didn't matter what I'm gonna tell you. But bottom line, she played football, and we diverse. So I'm gonna let you guys know we are diverse here. Also, again, check us out at KNSJ.org. Again, folks, if you yell at me, call me names, sue me, KNSJ.org. Put my name down there, but also put a little money down to help support local communities, to give everybody a voice. Everybody. The European Americans, you guys deserve a voice, don't you?
We do.
I love that saying that. It sounds so funny. We need voices from the Caribbean,
Hey.
from the Spanish.
Dominican Republic.
Say it in Spanish too.
Los amos de la República Dominicana.
No, see?
Hey.
Huh? Some people diverse out here.
Muy bueno.
I know one thing. I'm terrible. I need to go to Germany and learn some. We got a German.
Yeah, you
We
got,
got a
you
black.
got your buddy right now.
Oh, we got a black German. Don't get mad at me. I didn't know. You get mad at me. Everybody hates me. But folks, no, seriously, be diverse. Travel the world, like my dad always said. See it for yourself and do not judge people and put yourself in their shoes before you judge you. Because they'll look at you crazy too. Like, who that? What you eating? You know what I'm saying? You eating chicken too? What kind of chicken is that? So, folks, Notes from the Underground, KNSJ. May 11th, we're raising money again. Come out May 11th. We have Sprung Monkey, Buck 09, T.I. Dread, May 11th at the Music Box. Part of those proceeds will be going to KNSJ's organization, ASD Home, or whoever else that needs it within that community that we can help support. But we really need to support local radio. 1090 just went off the air.
Really?
People don't know 1090 left the air.
Man.
So we have local antennas here in San Diego, not in another country that helps to control that. So that's what we needed. And we need another attorney like you. We might have to call you in to help us on that.
Always here for you, brother. You know that.
I appreciate it. Folks, that's my time, I guess. The boss is here.
Ooh.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, I got like.
I've got flies on my list. I got to eat. It's 12:24.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate you. Thank you for letting me have my time here today.
No, thank you for everything you do for the station, Dan. I really appreciate
No
you.
problem.
You do a lot for the station. You do a lot for the community. You set up the show. Our fundraiser May 11th. You're doing a lot of good, man. I honestly can say San Diego needs more people like you, brother.
Well, we need you. I'm on your team.
Well,
Together, everyone accomplishes more.
one team, one dream, right?
Or a team also has me in it.
Yeah.
Depends how you look at it.
No, Dan, thank you so much, man.
No, thank you. I appreciate you guys as well.
For sure.
I'm
Thank
your
you.
Kevin Durant.
You're the real MVP.
You're a real MVP.